Rocky is an alien from a faraway galaxy. He has 5 legs, no face. He communicates in echolocation. He has a genius level intellect. He is an inventor and an engineer. But I think on the inside, he's this genetic splice of a miserly old man, a very peppy Labrador, and a deeply anxious 14-year-old boy. So the fun of Rocky is playing all of those things, which I get to do every day, which is pretty crazy. This is a film about an alien and an astronaut who become very, very close friends. And through their friendship and through their connection and their bond, they end up saving the world, which, doesn't happen every day. I got word that they wanted to play this alien character, not CGI, but as a puppet. And I went, that's pretty crazy. So one thing led to another, and I had a lovely meeting with Phil and Chris, and we had a great chat about this film, and it was really, really fun. And 30 minutes later, I got a phone call that said, "Hey, would you like to be an alien in a movie?" And I went, "I'm an alien most of the time, so let's do it for other people now." But that's basically how it happened. More than half of the film, Rocky's in a scene with Ryan, and he has to have a full gamut of expression. And how do you do that on a character that doesn't have a face, has 5 legs, and is sort of the silhouette of some cryptid spider, right? And you kind of want to avoid all of that because the character on the page is this endearing friend, and we have to fall in love with him. And I think one of the things I learned on this is the fact that follow your instinct and trust and lean in, and the scene can work even better. So you end up kind of creating something that you would never have expected. And that's sort of been the theme of this whole project. It's never what you can possibly expect. And what you get is something more heartful, more emotional, more beautiful. I definitely felt some pressure playing Rocky. It doesn't take very long and sort of 4 minutes on the internet to go, oh, there's a lot of love for this character. So I didn't want to mess it up. I really wanted to honor him. You kind of need to be present and play the scene and find out what this relationship is versus doing sort of a book report of what the book is. I think the biggest gift of this whole project is the fact that I didn't realize how much range Rocky has on the page. He is actually every instrument in the orchestra, and he has a lot of sadness and a lot of joy and a lot of anger. Most of our relationship is sort of like 2 brothers that are just arguing and loving each other and trying to understand each other. And it's a lovely sort of testament to the art form of puppetry that we can, it works and there's value in it, and you can create some really special magic on set. I think the reason my fans are going to fall in love with Rocky is the reason that I fell in love with Rocky, in that he is this completely unprotected, unadorned person. He doesn't have an awareness of social norms. He doesn't have an awareness of things that maybe he shouldn't say out loud. So he's just this sort of open person that just says what he's thinking, and that does create friction and also creates a lot of comic opportunities. But I think people are going to love him because he's so lovable. You know, he's this sweetie pie that's doing his best and has been through a lot. Sure, Rocky is an alien and Grace is a human, and they have different experiences, but I think what makes their relationship really interesting is the fact that they actually both have very similar traumas that they're both immediately responding to. They both have a very similar relationship to their own ability and their own skills. They're both geniuses, but they don't believe that they are. And they both have this mission to right a wrong and make something better. But I think, what they really want is to just be near somebody that understands them. So again, it's this magical mixture of the soft-hearted and the big and broad and heroic, and it's really beautiful. Most of the time when he's on the Hail Mary, he's causing a great deal of havoc because he's just like a kid in a candy shop. He wants to see everything and learn everything and know what it is. So yeah, that may explain me pushing a ball around and breaking a bunch of stuff on set.